Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 6 of our digital lives. I can't believe we're on our 6th episode already. Like, this is crazy. But I'm your host, Vince. I'm a field manager at the Digital Summer Clinic. And today I'm joined by my co host.
Yep. Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm also a field manager for the Digital Summer Clinic. Before we start talking to our wonderful guest, just want to remind everyone that if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll get to those by the end of this episode. So without further
Yes.
ado, go ahead, Vince.
All right. So today we are joined by Bilal Saeed. He is a VP of Brand and Marketing Strategy at the Detroit Pistons. Hi, Bilal. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I love how excited you got when you said Pistons. So I
Yeah,
appreciate
of course, got rep for the Pistons.
it.
But thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat with us and share your insights. So yeah, let's get into it. So our first question is, can you just give us like a quick introduction of like your history, your experiences, and where you are now in your career?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll try and touch on it. But back in the day, I was a student at Eastern Michigan University. I actually started my first company. Yeah, go Eagles and Hurons for those that rep that era. Um, but I started my first company during my last semester at Eastern, and I decided to do that because I was like, I kind of got nothing to lose at this point. Um, but it was a really tough thing to do. I started it at an interesting time. It wasn't when like startups were cool it was really a small business. But I started publishing magazines and around a time when print media was dying. So I had to shift my business really quickly. And one of the ways I was able to do that was I found an opportunity in the sports space. And the opportunity was that the digital space was being created and starting to become super impactful on how you market your brands, how you tell your story, and how you generate revenue. And so, since this was such a new concept, that kind of created an opportunity for my company, Pack Mode. And, we found a little niche and started working with different mid major universities around the state, some bowl games, some semi pro teams, and started developing different strategies, whether it be in the digital space or even in some of the more traditional avenues. But yeah, I had 15 years. Running Pack Mode. And, halfway into that stint, I was able to become a co-owner of a semi-pro soccer team, AFC Ann Arbor. And that also kind of, created a dual role for me where I was chair of that club so I could bring a lot of my marketing and digital background to the game there. But also it kind of introduced me to a whole new aspect of sport, which was the other side, not the business side, which was something that I had a lot of interest in learning. And so yeah, I did that for 7 years on top of running Pack Mode. And so I had a good run. But I decided to step away from running the club on a day-to-day basis. And right around that time, an opportunity opened up with the Pistons, and I just had to jump on it. So it's my childhood team. I had the logo on my wallpaper. So when I think about the Pistons, I think about everything that made me fall in love with sports, everything that made me fall in love with marketing, honestly. And so to find that intersection, in my career is really, really special. And so, yeah, I'm about a year into my career at the Pistons and really enjoying it so far.
No, that's awesome for sure. Definitely sounds like you're more community involved and everything. So yeah, really bringing that out there. Do you mind me asking how pack mode where pack mode is right now? Since you've left, is that if that's what you said?
Yeah. Like I was saying, it's more of a small business type of operation, so it still exists. I don't do a ton with it, but I've definitely got side projects and things that I, like to still have my hand in, and that company gives me that outlet. But so much of my attention and focus is now with the Pistons that I just don't get there's enough time or energy to spread to other projects as I might want to.
Totally understandable. But yeah, all right, on to the next question. Since you talked about a lot about like marketing, like being your biggest thing, how do you think AI impacts social media and pretty much, do you think it will help how do you think it will help with content creation?
Yeah, I think, there's two things, right? There's some of the copy and then also the content, like how you separate the creation of that. But AI is so new. It's so new, right? So we're still experimenting, seeing what works, what doesn't. And I think that's exciting. But also that means that we don't really know like best practices and where they're falling right now. I think common easy stuff is that you're seeing like, if you're, for example, in the sports world and you're on the social team and you're covering a game and you're pumping out, a bunch of content, right, in one day, writing copy on the fly can get tough. Every now and then you might throw something into Chat GPT, see what comes out. It also refreshes and might bring humor to you when you need it on a tough day. So I think like it's pretty common practice that I feel like in most brainstorms and creative thoughts, it's like someone in that room chat typing something in the Chat GPT just to like cross reference what's being said and what's thrown around. So I feel like that's the first time we've seen like a commonplace trend occur in the workplace. But outside of that, then it's all really new territory. But I think that people want to experiment, and they're gonna start to see as we see these experiments kind of like evolve. We're gonna start to see best practices, and then people jump on to things that stick a little bit longer.
Yeah, we were also all talking about how AI just kind of just took off backstage, and it's like people are like kind of like still leery about how AI kind of like took off and how it's just changing the world. So, like for the people who are afraid of AI, what would you say to them to kind of, just make them feel more at ease about it? And yeah.
I'm not the psychiatrist they need for that. But what I can say is that, with anything new and with change, some people find that scary. But when you think of it in a business sense and what it does for the economy and the global impact that it can have, we see these as like revolutions, right? Like, I mean, these are times when new thinking occurs and world global economies can shift and change. And so these things are for the betterment, right? We start to figure things out, solve problems in more efficient ways, become better citizens of the world, right? Like, so don't focus on the negative, like think about all the positives. It's going to, rather than think about jobs that it might replace, that's going to also at the same time create probably twice as many new jobs. That's a made up stat, but like there's good that just as much, if not more good, that's going to come from it. And so I think it's just we're hitting the tip of the iceberg. But yeah, if you see the positive in it, you'll get hooked right away in thinking of like what are the possibilities for sure.
Definitely. And on the topic of AI, our digital marketing workshop is coming up, The Age of AI. Since this is your first time attending the workshop, what are you most excited about it?
Well, this is our first time, right? Like
Yes,
all three of
Yeah.
us.
our first time. Yeah.
For me, couple things I'm excited about. So Bud was just launching this project when I was in school, right? Or right after I had graduated, right? Or somewhere around that time. And so to see where it's grown and gotten to, it's been amazing. To be a part of it and support it is phenomenal. Like, just love that I can do that. But honestly, it was really in line with what we were talking about beforehand. Same thing you guys are excited about is like some of the networking and meeting new people. I'm in the same boat. Like, I don't get to interact with students as much as I would love to, just because the pace of our business. And so to know how Eastern students are not only surviving, but thriving out there, I'm definitely really eager to meet you all in person and connect with the other students and learn more about what you guys think about AI and where you think this field's going and what's on the next horizon and things like that. So definitely looking forward to meeting all the students.
We look forward to meeting you as well in
Yeah,
person finally.
for sure.
Sure.
All right. So we're about to go to the Facebook Q&A. So we have two questions, which are both from Bud Gibson. So the first question is, so you've done a lot of work in the community. So what vision does the Pistons organization have for its community engagement?
Yeah, one of the reasons I was able to make the jump into pro sports finally was because I felt I found a team not only that I loved, but that was the right place for me to be from a career perspective. And I got to be at a place that prioritizes the community. And the Pistons were already doing that before I got there. So that was one of the big selling points. We just completed a multi-year program where we rehabilitated over 60 courts around the city of Detroit. So we're not putting that stuff out there as much as I, the brand guy, want to, but like we're doing it for the true impact. The Pistons have realized that they're an actual community partner and the power of their platform. And so knowing that I found a place that's actually living and making that impact it's really special. I think we do things during the season of giving, from turkey giveaways to our owner, Tom Gores, has a huge toy drive in Easter Market with Toys for Tots. So there are all kind of huge programs going on. We just redid a weight room at a high school in Detroit. And so like piece by piece, we realize you can make your community stronger. And I think the Pistons have a huge hand in that when it comes to being a community partner in Detroit. And I would say from a pro sports standpoint, I'm not sure there's any other team that really reaches the standard of the work that we're doing. So I really feel like I found the right home for myself, bud. Great question.
All right, thank you for sharing that. So the second question is running marketing for the Pistons anything like the HBO show Winning Time?
Oh, I wish. I'll say the excitement is, I mean, in a modern way, it's a great show, bud. I fell in love with the game of basketball shortly after that era. So to go back in time and be entertained to that amazing show is pretty brilliant. But yeah, it's a little different. The NBA compared to where it was in that era to where it is now is just they're global brands, they're global businesses. So you have to think about the global marketplace. And I think that's the next phase that you'll see the NBA really focusing on is how can we evolve the brand to be something that isn't just a huge thing for the people in the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit, but something to people all around the world.
For sure. For sure. All right. Well, I believe that's all the time that we have. Before we head out, I like to thank everyone for watching our digital lives today, and thank you for Bilal for coming on to the show. Very insightful stuff, and I really enjoyed our
Yes,
conversation.
me
Um,
too.
but yeah, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Digital Summer Clinic, and all our other media platforms so you won't miss anything. Don't forget to purchase your tickets for the marketing workshop this year. Before November 17th, we have a ticket on sale for general admission for $30 until October 31st. And for students, it's an indefinite $5. So come on down for the marketing workshop. You'll meet great speakers such as Bilal and others from big companies. And yeah.
And also make sure you all tune in next Monday at 5:30 with relationship coach Kane Joyland from the Romantic Discovery. He is also a speaker at this year's digital marketing workshop. So make sure y'all come out and see him. And yes, thank you everyone again for watching. Thank you again, Bilal, for being here. And have a great week, everyone. And we hope to see you.